third-party outsider with no particular
no familial
source on the
ties.
matter.
Just pick me up on the road side of the road.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we heard about Disneyland Paris before we went, and we're doing a 4-hour drive down to where we're going next for our family wedding. So we figured this would be a good time to answer some of the things, to say, did we agree or disagree with what people said about Disneyland Paris before we went. So I think the number one thing that I heard was that there was going to be smoke everywhere, that there were people smoking, they disregarded the smoking sections, people were vaping everywhere. It was like so horrible. That is one thing that I heard from multiple people and different articles that I read. And Maddie, would you say that was true for our experience or false?
There was a lot of vaping.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was like overwhelming.
No, I mean, it wasn't like overwhelming, but there was a decent amount.
I'm gonna say false, because it wasn't anything that made us like, okay, I don't want to go back. Like, some people were like, I'm never going back there because it was so much smoke.
Yeah, I would say that.
There were designated smoking areas, and there were a lot more of them than the U.S. parks, but I don't think it was anything overwhelming.
There's designated smoking parks in the U.S. parks?
Yeah.
They were like non-smoking parks?
No, there are spots where people can smoke.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but they're just not as common anymore as they used to be.
Well, there are definitely more people smoking in spots. They were just walking and smoking.
Vaping.
Yes.
Not smoking cigarettes.
There were still people smoking though and walking.
Really?
Yeah, saw like plenty.
Oh, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It didn't bother me like I thought it was going to, though. Like, I thought it was going to be so bad. So, okay. Maybe we don't know what to call that one, true or false. Okay.
True.
The second thing we heard was that the food in the park is not great. What would you say, Maddie?
I mean, I ate the same thing everywhere I went, so I guess I would probably say that was true.
Yeah. The food was not great. We got quick service in the park the first day, quick service in the park the second day, and then decided to eat in Disney Village for the other meals.
I mean, it wasn't like my food was bad. I was fine with my food, but I'm also very particular. So I feel like if you're particular, then it's I mean, it's hard. This is like really our first overseas traveling that, you know, wasn't like, it is, there is a lot of like translation to English, but I feel like, you know, when we went on, you know, like our honeymoon, right, like it was super catered to
Americans. Yeah.
So it just makes it challenging, especially if there are, you know, foods that you're not like 100% sure about, right?
Yeah.
Like this morning.
Yeah.
When I was trying to understand.
Oh yes, we did eat in the park today for one.
Yeah. Which was great. Wherever we went today was really good.
We'll talk more about that on the podcast episode, but we ate at the Regal View today for the character breakfast specifically. They do have a dinner option that's super fancy and expensive. But yeah, that was pretty good. But it was like, even things like that, you trying to speak to the waiter and ask like, what was that omelet made of, because it was called a vegan omelet, and he like did not understand the question, which is fine, right? Like, we're the ones fish out of water here. But it was a little like interesting trying to figure out like, well, what is that, or like what, you know, just different.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a super picky eater, it's not like you're gonna have a hard time. That's probably true anywhere though.
That's probably true anywhere. I mean, I definitely advise bringing snacks if you are picky or if you have kids, because I know people laughed at me in our pack and prep video for packing so many snacks. However, I feel like
It saved us.
it saved us. I also just realized you can see Eiley is sleeping back there in the car in the whole video. Eiley's out. Blake is watching a movie. She slept for a little bit. Anyway, yeah, I feel like the snack saved us, don't you?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
that's true in the U.S. parks too. Like, just bring snacks. Bring the snacks. Have a bag of snacks handy to hand out. We'd rather hand them an applesauce pouch or a granola bar and know that they're full than buy a $4 bag of apples.
Yeah.
But the pricing, I don't know, the prices in the parks were very comparable. expensive, but not like insanely expensive, not super cheap. We didn't really try too many like snacks either because everything was kind of like...
We weren't really sure.
We weren't really sure. Regan did try a Mickey bar and said it was actually better than the U.S. parks. I wish I would have gotten one, but I got the champagne, which was delicious. My mom said it wasn't good champagne. I don't know. I don't drink fancy champagne, so it was good to me. But we really didn't get like ice cream or like treats. So yeah, I don't know. And then the quick service was very much park quick service, very similar caliber of food. Burgers, they had a pizza pasta place. Like it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. Okay, the third thing that I heard about the parks was that the cast members are not as magical or helpful as the U.S. parks. Would you agree with that?
I think we didn't really need. Surprisingly, I don't think we really needed like a lot of assistance. So.
No, but I feel like everybody was friendly.
Yeah.
In the parks, I did not have anyone who was like, ugh, Americans, or like almost everybody was like English or French. They would ask you, and then they would speak both. So it's a little like easier to communicate with them than I thought. Like, I don't know, they were great. I never had a problem. There was nobody that was snooty. Everybody was very helpful. I think the only thing happened today was like we had this QR code for a meet and greet, and we had to leave by a certain time to get our car. When I first got onto the virtual queue to get the QR code, it said it was going to be a 4-hour wait until our turn to get in line for the character meet and greet. And that would have been fine, except we had to leave about 30 minutes before that 4-hour window. So we asked, could we go in early? And they were like, hard no. But like on Remy's yesterday, we only had technically, it broke down if you watched that vlog already. And so we got evacuated off. We got a Premier Pass, which is their lightning lane, just like you would in the US. But then they let you guys go, the three of you. Like they were like, sure, that's fine.
Yep.
No problems. Same thing, like he came with us to the Frozen meet and greet today. Technically, we only had 3 people on it because he hadn't checked in when I got the virtual queue. And they were like, no problem. So I don't know. I feel like they were great. I didn't have any problems. The next thing that we heard in the parks was that people don't understand personal space over here, even less so than the US. In the US, you get people that are all up on you, that stop in the middle of the road or walkway, but that it was worse here. What would you say about that?
I did feel like people were really close.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just like a cultural difference. I think that there's a lot. The thing is here, like you have to think about, it's not just French people. It's like all of Europe. So there were people, or like, everywhere like it is in the US, but there were a lot of people not French. And yesterday we were like watching the parade. We got there an hour early. We got our spot, the whole 9 yards. And this family came last minute. And when I say they were up on us, they were physically touching us. So like no space, no concept that was like not okay. And so I think that's just like their norm, is to be all up on each other some places. The other thing that I noticed that I had heard and saw for myself was that rope drop is wild. And it sure is. You get a whole extra magic hour staying on property, and we did rope drop both days at Adventure World because we pretty much did everything we wanted to do at Disneyland Paris and didn't feel like that was a need for our time. So both days that I rope dropped, Maddie did not rope drop, he slept instead. But people were literally running, and when I say like running, I don't mean like the Disney fast walk, you're jogging a little, you're getting there, you're going real quick. I mean like sprinting. So that was pretty wild. So people, they don't mess around. It is so nice that you get the entire hour. Extra magic hour is magical, and it is 100% worth it to stay on property to get that. Something else that I heard from people was that once you stay at the Disneyland Paris, like the Disneyland Hotel, you're never going to be able to stay anywhere else if you go back there because because of how convenient it is. Would you agree with that?
100%.
Yeah. The convenience is amazing. Like, you walk out the door, you're in security. You're literally in the bubble. You're the only hotel in the bubble. I thought that Marvel and Newport Bay Club were still in the bubble, but they're not. They still have to go through security. So it is so convenient. Running back to the hotel real quick, resting, all that kind of stuff. Way, way, way easier staying at the Disneyland Hotel. So it is worth the hefty price tag, depending on how hefty it is when you're looking to go. But honestly, I can't imagine trying to like commute in from somewhere else to go to the park. Can you?
No.
Yeah. So we don't stay deluxe at Disney World. We stay usually value. And so it was a huge jump in price in our heads to like think about spending more on a hotel than we usually would. But to us, first of all, it's like, this is probably a once in a lifetime thing that we're doing this. We want to see other parks. But second of all, I've just heard like it's amazing and you have to do it. So if you have the means, or it's something that you're trying to debate, do I do, you know, more park days, less park days, whatever. Yeah. Just do it if you can. What was your new thing about the overtime?
Disney, where families have to work overtime.
That's their new slogan. That's the slogan that Maddie's gonna give them. The other thing that I had heard was that Disneyland Paris and Disney Adventure World, previously Disney Studios Park, could be done in its entirety in one day. Do you think you could do both parks in one day and see it what you needed to see?
If I was by myself?
No, with a family. No.
I don't think so.
Do you feel like, how many days do you feel like is appropriate?
2.
2? Okay. So you feel like today's little half day was probably not necessary.
Yeah.
But we also repeated a lot of things.
Right, exactly.
If somebody had to pick between the two parks, do you agree Disneyland is superior
Probably, yeah.
to Disney's Adventure World?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I would agree. Disney Adventure World really needed that upgrade with Frozen. I mean, literally, I can't imagine if it didn't have the Rapunzel and Frozen sections, how it would survive. That just, it's crazy to me. The other thing I heard was that basically all of the rides that are copycat rides are not as good at Disneyland Paris, with the exception of Big Thunder, but then everything else was like subpar. But I personally liked Phantom Manor the best out of all the Haunted Mansion attractions. But you disagreed, right?
I don't like it as much.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Okay. And then Pirates, I actually thought it's still not better than Disneyland's Pirates, maybe, but it was up there. You disagree? What about Tower of Terror now that we did it?
It was scarier, but not better.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
You still think the Florida one is, well, you like the Guardians one.
Not like Florida one the best.
You like the Florida one the best?
Stays truest to the story.
Exactly. Stays true to the story. Do you feel like they could change this one to Guardians because it's right there by Avengers Campus?
No.
Leave it, right?
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
That's pretty spooky. Okay, I think that's everything for the Q&A. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Make sure that you've watched all the vlogs of our trip. And we will see you guys next time. Allie's still sleeping.